Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Father Brooks has joined us. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff right now. Unplug yourself a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of break. Father Brooks, thank you for being here.
Good morning. It's good to see you. I missed this excellent presentation yesterday. Tell us about this presentation.
So presentation last night at Vail Mountain School talking about the digital age and our kids. We've never seen a generation that is being bombarded like this from technology. And she gave some great points, and the whole focus was kind of toward the kids through sort of high school age and before they go off to college. But it was really about us and how we set the examples, and how when you say, oh, honey, let me just check it. And the just check it lasts 25 seconds, 25 minutes, 2 hours.
Yep.
And you pick them up at school. If you ask them, they'll probably tell you a story. Instead, you're on the phone. And she also mentioned, when you wake up in the morning, which way do you roll? Do you roll to your phone, or do you roll to whoever's next to you? I mean, powerful stuff. And she mentioned, take 20 minutes a day to read, not on your device. Read a book. Separate yourself from everything and read a book. It was a great program.
Turn off the screen. It's only been less than a decade, and it's changing the way we communicate, evolving from hundreds of thousands of years. Right. So this is the FaceTime I like the best. So
we talked about it just before we came on. If I want to know how you're doing, I'll call you up. I don't need to learn about you on Snapchat or Facebook. If I really want to know, let's talk.
Exactly. No, it's going to be decades before we understand this time and what it's doing to our kids. But that brings us into our theme. I'm choosing a theme for us to talk about here in January of spiritual habits. Remember last week?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. I remember the Epiphany. It's the time of the Epiphany.
It's the time of the Epiphany, exactly.
And so have one, people. Create one. Create an Epiphany. Create a habit.
Give a space. Give a space for wisdom. Epiphany is a season in the church for wisdom, for reflection. It sits in between Christmas and Easter. And it's a good time to examine, and not just habits for the new year, I mean habits for a lifetime.
Right.
So last year, what was it? Daily reflection, I think, right?
Correct.
We all take a space back, and this is a constant challenge for me, to take a space back, have every day 5 minutes, 6 minutes, maybe more, where we unplug, turn everything off. And that leads into daily habit, spiritual habit number 2, which is retreat.
Right. And not only retreat here. Where do you like to go? Where do you go for your retreat?
If you live here. No, everybody, if you're local, hey, if you're visiting, have a great time. If you're local,
you're retreating. If
you're local, you need to leave. You need to get out. You need to go somewhere else. You need to step back from the intensity of resort living. Everything's intense here.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in a long winter, everybody needs space to step back and leave. My favorite place, 5 hours due south of here, 13 miles up the worst dirt road you will ever drive along the Chama River
nice.
It's the Chama River Valley of northern New Mexico.
Right.
And up that river, right outside of Ghost Ranch, Abiquiu, New Mexico, 13 miles up a dirt road is a monastery called Christ in the Desert.
Wow.
And it is the only desert monastic experience available. I'm not a monk, but you can visit. 1 day, 2 day, 3, 4 days. And nothing works electronically. They live by the rhythm of the sun. And so there's not a lot of electricity either, so you can't read late at night. You have to adapt to a natural rhythm.
I like it.
Silence is palpable. I hike by the river for miles and miles. Best food you'll ever eat. You don't have to be Christian to go. They welcome everybody regardless of faith. You do have to learn how not to talk, which for me is a challenge.
Father Brooks, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Create the habit. Create a retreat. Create some space.
Get out of here.
All right. We'll talk next week. We'll see how you did.
Yes, sir.
Stay with us here on Good Morning Vail and plan your day. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, make it 20. Whatever you can do to retreat, and plan a retreat. Like Father Brooks said, if you're here, get out of here for a little bit and turn off the phones, turn off the screens. Get out, check out. We'll be right back.